Hello everyone, in this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words. Regarding Pakistan-Afghanistan relations, many developments have come before me that require professional analysis and connecting the dots so we can understand the direction in which things are heading. For instance, in the past 24 hours, under the orders of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Air Force carried out heavy strikes on Gaza. According to the latest reports and sources from Israeli newspapers, at least 15 people have been killed and more than 50 injured. The ceasefire is now at risk. At this stage, we are hearing that the Pakistani government has, by and large, decided to send Pakistan army troops to Gaza as part of an international stabilization force. Pakistan's defense minister justified this on a television program. In the same 24 hours, former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan met with one of his sisters, though his lawyers and other family members were not allowed to meet him. He sent an important message to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Sohail Afridi, as well as to his party. Meanwhile, reports about off-and-on negotiations in Istanbul, Turkey, between Pakistan and Afghanistan have failed. It is said Pakistan has pulled out, though contradictory statements are still emerging. I have researched this extensively and can present a balanced perspective. Over the past 24 hours in Pakistan, Defense Minister Khawaja Asif confirmed on Geo News, during a program with Shahzeb Khan Dada, that the decision to send Pakistani forces to Gaza is in its final stages. Advanced consultations are ongoing and everything is being finalized. He said Pakistan will play an important role in protecting Palestinians and that Pakistan-US relations will improve further. A few hours earlier, Rana Sanaullah, former Interior Minister and advisor to the Pakistani Prime Minister, was asked on a news program about this. He said that if Pakistan receives such an offer, it would be a major opportunity for Pakistan to assist the Palestinians. Unnamed sources quoted by Pakistani media have cited three main reasons for sending troops. First, Pakistan was one of 8 Muslim countries that pushed forward a reconstruction and peace plan for Gaza in 2024, making it difficult for Pakistan to step back from its responsibility. Second, it is a diplomatic necessity that will enhance Pakistan's international geopolitical standing. Third, Pakistan has historically contributed troops to United Nations programs, and over the past few decades, more than 200,000 Pakistani troops have served in UN peacekeeping missions. However, the so-called International Stabilization Force, initially called the Arab Stabilization Force or Muslim Stabilization Force, is not UN mandated. It has no framework or authorization from the UN Security Council, and operates under an agreement between the US, Israel, and a few Muslim countries. This is reportedly part of a plan associated with Donald Trump. It is claimed that Pakistan's role in the 8 Muslim countries plan was significant, particularly regarding Gaza reconstruction and peace. While active negotiations involved Israel, the US, Turkey, Egypt, and Qatar, other countries like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, Azerbaijan, and Jordan had little participation. Pakistan's contribution has not been significant historically, though its government can still claim involvement in the media. Pakistan has never been considered a serious negotiator in the Gaza crisis. Another complicating factor is that Turkey, which has been Hamas's supporter and led negotiations, is opposed by Israel's Prime Minister and cabinet. Despite this, Pakistan's forces are accepted by Israel. There is quite a bit of debate in Pakistan over whether troops should be sent. Critics argue there is no United Nations framework, no local consent from Gaza's population, and the forces would have to maintain internal law and order and, confront Hamas, which actually has popular support. This could make Pakistan's troops be perceived as an occupation force, essentially a rebranding of Israel's occupation, but using Muslim forces where the United States does not want to deploy its own troops. Additionally, the Ministry of Information dismissed Indian media reports claiming that Pakistani officials negotiated operational details with Israeli and United States intelligence, calling them false. However, Khawaja Asif's statements suggest that there is some truth to these claims, as logical operational meetings would occur if troops are being sent. There is also the question of reconstruction work in Gaza. Turkish newspapers suggest Erdogan sees economic opportunities for Turkish companies, though it's unclear whether Pakistani companies will have a role. Pakistan's establishment is reportedly observing this. Meanwhile, in Pakistan, public discourse is, honestly, largely emotional rather than logical. For example, religious scholar Raja Alama Nasir Abbas, who is influential within his community and considered close to Iran, tweeted a request that Pakistani troops should not be sent to Gaza due to the lack of a United Nations framework and local consent, highlighting the perception that Pakistan's deployment could be seen as an occupying force supporting Israel. It is reported that Israel maintains full control over points of entry and exit in Gaza, both by sea and land, what we once used to call lines of communication, or LOC, and so on. This means that whatever stabilization force there is, it will basically depend on the cooperation and goodwill of the Israeli Defense Forces, and without their cooperation it just won't be able to function. And, the end result of this will be that Muslim forces will be used to crush the Palestinian resistance, which goes against Pakistan's historic position of the past 77 years, that we support Palestinian rights and self-determination. This should not happen. Now, obviously, hundreds of people have retweeted this, but if you look at the comments, you realize that very few people actually understand the reasoning, logic, or arguments of Raja Nasir Abbas. Given the current mental state within Pakistan, it's very easy to sell the narrative that this is in our interest, that we will get money, our geopolitical space will expand, and that we are going to protect our Palestinian brothers from the oppressive Israelis. Now, let's also look at two more things. In the past 48 hours, Pakistan's Prime Minister, Shahbaz Sharif, met again with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. They say this is Shahbaz Sharif's fourth official visit in 2025. He may have undertaken secret intelligence trips as well, but this is officially the fourth visit where he met the Crown Prince. A picture was even released showing the Crown Prince with Shahbaz Sharif by his side, tall and imposing, with Shahbaz appearing small beside him. Afterward, it was announced that Saudi Arabia would provide $6 billion to Pakistan. However, this $6 billion is not new. It is just a repeated reframing and repackaging of existing support. $1 billion is from the ongoing deferred oil payments, where Saudi Arabia provides Pakistan oil on easy installment payments of $100 million per month, totaling $1 to $2 billion per year. This has been announced again here. The other $5 billion is already in Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves to support the state bank, and Saudi Arabia has renewed this. So, this is not new money. Meanwhile, Pakistan's foreign minister met in the past 48 hours for an economic framework discussion, specifically the Future Investment Initiative 9th round, meeting Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan to discuss investment, trade, and other economic cooperation. Since General Asim Munir became Pakistan Army Chief, he has tried to make financial decisions and establish committee-based support. Since November 2022, there have been repeated claims from the government that Saudi Arabia would make significant investments in Pakistan. Memorandums of understanding were signed, but no substantial investments materialized. Deferred oil payments continued, and Saudi Arabia kept supporting foreign exchange reserves. This indicates that Saudi Arabia sought certain initiatives from Pakistan regarding the Abraham Accords and Israel. Now, as Pakistan's establishment progresses on these initiatives, my analysis suggests that Saudi investment in Pakistan will not purely be financial. It will be through a geopolitical lens. Pakistan is essentially rendering services within this geopolitical framework, and the result will be Saudi investments within Pakistan. Similarly, the UAE may also invest, and other financing could flow into Pakistan. Indian newspapers have hinted at this. Discussions took place between General Asim Munir's officers, which Pakistan's Ministry of Information denies. This also reveals a larger point. When a state's coffers are empty and it cannot sustain its economy through internal resources or strategies, its sovereignty erodes. Pakistan currently has no real sovereignty. Long-held foreign policy principles supporting Palestinian self-determination are being eroded because Pakistan's regime is making decisions based on economic necessities. Within these circumstances, Imran Khan sent a message, meeting with his sister Noreen Khan. The message, available on Twitter in Urdu, congratulates people in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa for electoral rallies and gatherings in various districts. He also addressed Chief Minister Sohail Afridi, advising him to form a small cabinet to manage affairs, leaving the decision entirely to Afridi. It seems General Asim Munir and the establishment were trying to prevent a meeting between Afridi and Imran Khan. In the past 48 hours, a positive development occurred. In Peshawar, the commander called Chief Minister Afridi for a meeting after attempts by local leaders were initially refused. This shows some goodwill, though it's uncertain if it will continue. Imran Khan also sent a message to his party, suggesting that his cases may end quickly, but he may once again face solitary confinement. He advised the party to pursue cases in higher courts and maintain a position against the current situation, possibly even staging court protests. From a geopolitical perspective, it's clear that Imran Khan underestimated realpolitik during his term as Prime Minister from 2018 to 2022. The collapse of his government and subsequent events demonstrate that he lacked understanding of balance of power dynamics, unlike General Asim Munir, who, while ruthless, is playing the realpolitik game. Munir's goal is to channel financial flows into the Pakistani economy, possibly creating a spectrum of prosperity which could shift domestic political opinion, similar to shifts seen after conflicts with India or interventions in Afghanistan. Regarding Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkey, and Qatar peace talks. Although reports suggested talks had failed, Afghan and Turkish sources confirmed on Monday that the negotiations continued. Disinformation in Pakistani newspapers exaggerated the situation. According to these sources, the main issue is the dispute verification framework. Afghan Taliban are unwilling to take formal action against TTP or Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan. The Pakistani delegation is led entirely by military officers, while the Afghan delegation includes defense and interior ministers. This imbalance complicates progress. Pakistan demands the Afghan government formally classify TTP as a terrorist organization and act against them, which Afghanistan is unwilling to do. That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share, and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.